Give me a sign, I'll be yours before us, Miss Present and Miss After. You tell me the time, we can wake up in the city under sea. There is no way that this hunger would lead me to disaster. So hold my hand and meet me near the river and the tree. I am love, and wherever you go, I will be. I used to dream of silly things. I used to want someone who never cared for me. Now I've grown and you're the real deal. The real deal, that is what I see. The sky could crack, the earth could quake. Whoa, the final prophecy. I have no fear when in your arms. Nothing else matters to me. So give me a sign, I'll be yours before us, Miss Present and Miss After. Tell me the time, we can wake up in a city under sea. There is no way that this hunger would lead me to disaster. So hold my hand and meet me near the river and the tree. I am love, and wherever you go, I will be. I am love, and wherever you go, I will be. I will be. I am love, and wherever you go, I will be. Hey, do you know the sound of the djembe? Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the drum and how I came up with that song called I'm Love that began as a poem. How do you drum up poetry? That's the question. If you have any other questions, let me know. If you felt that, let me know. This is an interactive presentation. I'm only going to be on here for maybe about 15 minutes, but it's just a mini workshop about how to drum up poetry. There's two ways to drum up poetry. One way is to play to restore, right? To play to restore or heal. As I was singing that song, I got a little choked up because I'm looking over at some ashes on my fireplace. I just lost a dear loved one, and I was thinking about when I first created that poem, I was thinking about the afterlife. And so many of us, we think about it, we don't know, we haven't been there. Some of us say they have been there and they've come back. And one of the through lines that a lot of people believe that I've researched is true is that one of the questions you were asked is, did you love? And which means like, did you have the courage to love and be loved? That is one of the lessons of life we all know. But it's a whole nother thing to be love, right? And so that is what I strive to be. So it began almost as a mantra, that song, to think about what that means, where it might take me. And so it began as a poem. But when you are playing to restore, so I'm going to write the first tip down for you: to play to restore and to heal. When you play to restore or to heal, sometimes if you're playing with your drum, you have to think about, what does that sound like? So number one, play to restore or to heal. So I'm going to put that up here so you can see. Number one, play to restore or to heal. So when I thought of that, I first began like just playing my drum. I was just playing it, and I just was just playing around. And for me, a healing sound, it can come from your heart, and you might have to just play. You just start off playing, and for me, that beat was. Now, for me, when I started just playing that beat, it was something that was throughout, and I felt like it was a way for me to pace myself, because this is the very first song that I ever created on the djembe, and I thought about that beat being my anchor. If you're just getting new to playing the djembe, some of you may have brought a djembe to class today. If you're thinking about working with me on something like this, I could we could talk about this afterwards. If you're really interested, you could DM me and we could listen to the beats that you do know how to play. But there might be something that comes out of you that you didn't even know would happen. And that has to come from your heart, and it just has to be something that you play around with. When we were little, I don't know about you, but when I was little, the drum was my desk. If I was on board, kind of like this, watching the teacher, or if I was in a lunch during maybe lunchtime, or what they would call study time, where I'm supposed to be studying, but maybe I'm done and everybody else is still working. And you just sit there, and I don't know if you know about me, but so that would be you would just start pounding on the desk, and there is a sound in a signature that is your sound. If you could go back to that, if you're like me and you were the same kind of kid and you were just making beats, but I need you to think like that. And when you are playing to restore or to heal, you have to get in touch with your inner child, and you have to get back to that same space that when you weren't really thinking about it, you were just filling it out. But the thing about the drum is that the drum can help you in a lot of different ways. You can heal with the drum, but you can also talk with the drum. So you have to think about that. But when you are playing to restore, to heal, it's going to have to come from a special place in you. You have to think back. What was this? Can you remember that original sound that you used to make on your desk or something like that? Now, the second tip I have for you. Yes. Okay, Jill, I see you. So Jill, I want to add your thank you, Rochelle, for saying beautiful. I see you. Hi, Esther. I'm glad you're here. But let me add this one. Jill says, so true. Restore or to heal. I used to write to heal myself. Correct. Writing is the same process for some of us. When you write to heal, you don't edit yourself, because if you get in your head, you will never come up with that beat. And sometimes the beat leads to the song or to more lyrics, but you have to trust the process. And when we are writing to heal and we are writing to restore, Sometimes someone says you just write, like there is nothing wrong, like there are no such thing, there's nothing that could be wrong with it ever. And it becomes like a stream of consciousness. So let me breathe on that, so that you can take that in. Sometimes we start with breath when we're really writing to heal, right? When we're really playing to heal, we start with breath. And that is another reason why at the end of that poem or song, you heard me, because that's how it started, me thinking about the heartbeat. So my next tip for you, sometimes the beat leads to lyric. Thank you, Annie. I'm going to add that up. So again, I love that. Sometimes the beat leads to lyric. Yes, it does. She understands what I mean. The beat can lead to a lyric. So if you are just playing a beat, maybe before I move on to the next point, for example, if I was just playing this beat, some beats could, when we were communicating with the drum, sometimes the beat is, if I feel like I'm running or something like, the first word that comes up to me is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you might talk with that, or the drum talk sometimes. So when some people call it drum speak. I used to want to be in the band. I remember when when the quads were bigger than me, and they had all these quads here, and I was just like. But with drum speak, sometimes it's like da 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 da. You might even have to speak it like that too, and it maybe doesn't even have words yet, and the words come later. But it's a feeling. And when I'm doing something like this, or if I'm playing with my can you fix it? Your life? Hey! Can you fix your life? It's sometimes so full of strife. But it doesn't have to be. It could just be lovely. Now, see, that's just me freestyling, but it's the same thing. Like, you might have to put some words down first if you wanted to rhyme it. But if you don't have to rhyme it. You could just speak from your heart and record it. And then whatever is good, you edit later. You take the good out, you throw away the rest. Second point, sometimes we play to focus on story. Or sometimes we lead. How about that? We can also play and lead with story. So I'm going to put that next point for you. And thank you, Annie. Annie says, yes, it can just be love or lovely, right? It can. And she says, hey, oh, yeah. So sometimes you get excited, especially when you're like, oh, I can't believe that came out of me. But you have to trust the process. And the creative process is really an act of faith. It really, really is. So many people, they look at artists and they think, oh, I want to be that. But you are it. It's a practice though. It's a faith practice where you really just have to like get in that space, that mental space to lead with story or to lead with feeling. But now let's talk a little bit about leading with feeling because or leading with story. When we focus on the story, now the story, this one is a little less freestyle. This one might be where you started more on paper and then you brought it to the drum, and that could happen too. So you could have started with a specific story or a concrete poem that's already been edited and everything, and then you brought it to the drum. Now that's a possibility as well. Now that's not how that piece came about that I began this segment with, but you could do the same thing with that. And when you do that, you are going to have an opportunity to tweak it, and it's really going to make your poem even better. It might be you could see it as an extra edit for your poem, because one of the things I'm so happy to see Annie Finch here, who can totally teach you so much about meter and poetry, is that I remember taking one of her classes, and she asked you to, like, what song do you sing, or is there a song in your head that you remember from childhood too that you could set your poem to? Because we know that classic song was already in perfect rhythm, or it wouldn't have been a classic. So you could also do that too. So those are my tips. You can start by playing to restore feel in with feeling, and to restore and heal by focusing on what that sound and that feeling feels like. Or you can play by focusing where the story is already there, and you're just trying to find the rhythm that is married to that story. So those are my 2 tips for today. You can play with feeling and to restore and to heal, or you can play by focusing and leading with the story. So those are my 2 for this brief set. And if you have any questions, I'll take them. If there's any, I'll take maybe one question, and then I will invite you to possibly have a discovery call with me. If you are interested, you can check out my my discovery calls. I have a link tree. So I'm going to put my link tree in the chat. It's one way we can talk. And we can see if you have any questions about that. But we are going to be doing another class, mini workshop like this, maybe next month. I'm definitely thinking about it. And my question to you is, if you are serious about coming up with a song, maybe you would come to me with something that's already somewhat done, or if you're still questioning the process, feel free to check out my link tree and click on a discovery call, and we can chat. But that's just one way I can be of service. It's free. And let me know if you are writing, if you're cooking up something, if you're simmering up something, then maybe I could give you a couple of tips within that time frame and see if I can help you, as well as if you have any other questions around the creative process. My name is Venus Jones. This has been a quick tutorial of how to drum up some poetry. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed it. I so appreciate your feedback. This is new for me to come on and do some quick little lessons. One thing you may not know about me is I did take a little bit of everything. I'm a lifelong learner. I've studied with some of the best drummers and vocal coaches, although I'm still learning to be the best drummer girl I can be on this. But I'm still taking the time to share with you what I know for sure. And that is, you can drum to restore, and you can drum to heal. And I'm all about healing words. So I just want to remind you to keep looking up, keep looking out. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you think someone else that might like it, feel free to click like and share. This is my first exposure to drums. I used to write poetry. It's how I healed my heart. Yes, keep healing your heart. And if you heal your heart, guess what? Guess what? your heart heals others. Stay in that mind frame. Yes, this was very smooth, feels free, special. Thank you. All right, you all have a great day, and hey, drum up something good. Next class, we might talk about the real talking drum. Stay tuned.